Are you making these dangerous mistakes when you drink water in the morning and putting your health at risk after 60? I'm sharing the 5 hidden mistakes seniors make that could harm their bodies and the simple fixes that saved Linda, 67, from a health scare. Picture Linda standing in her kitchen one chilly morning, reaching for a glass of water like she did every day, thinking it was the healthiest way to start her day. At 67, Linda had always prided herself on her morning routine. She'd wake up, drink a big glass of water, and get moving, believing she was doing the best thing for her body. But lately she wasn't feeling right. Her stomach felt bloated, her energy was low, and she'd even started noticing her blood pressure spiking, something her doctor had warned her about. She'd been drinking water first thing every morning for years, thinking it was harmless. But that morning, as she doubled over with a sharp stomach cramp, her heart raced with fear. What if her morning habit was actually hurting her? Linda had heard that staying hydrated was crucial after 60, but she didn't know that the way she was drinking water could be putting her at risk of serious health issues, like kidney strain or even heart problems. That moment of pain was her wake-up call, a moment that made her fear not just for her health, but for her ability to keep up with her grandkids and live the active life she loved. Because here's the truth, drinking water in the morning can be a game changer for seniors, but making these 5 dangerous mistakes can turn a healthy habit into a health risk. But Linda found a way to fix it, and I'm going to share the 5 mistakes she discovered and what she did to avoid them. These are simple, senior-friendly fixes that can keep you hydrated safely and help you feel your best, no matter your age. If you're ready to stay hydrated the right way, give this video a like. I'd love to know you're with me on this journey. The first mistake Linda was making was something she'd never even thought about: drinking too much water too fast, a habit that was overwhelming her body first thing in the morning. Linda used to chug a large glass of water, about 16 ounces, all at once, thinking it would jumpstart her hydration. But after 60, your kidneys don't filter as efficiently, and drinking too much too fast can overload them, leading to bloating, stomach cramps, and even a dangerous drop in sodium levels, which can strain your heart. Linda met another senior, Carol, 70, from Georgia, who'd had her own scare. Carol used to gulp down water every morning, but she started feeling bloated and dizzy, and her doctor warned her that her kidneys were struggling to keep up. Carol's doctor told her to sip water slowly instead, aiming for 4 to 6 ounces at a time, giving her body a chance to absorb it properly. Carol started sipping her water over 10 to 15 minutes, using a smaller glass, and she even set a timer to remind herself to take it slow. Within a few days, the bloating stopped, her stomach felt better, and her energy improved. Her daughter said, "Mom, you don't look so uncomfortable anymore. What's changed?" Linda thought, "I always chug my water. Could this be why I feel so bad?" So she gave it a try. She poured 6 ounces into a small glass, sipped it slowly over 15 minutes, and focused on taking her time. That morning, the cramps didn't come. Her stomach felt settled, and she felt a steady energy she hadn't had in weeks. You can do this too. Sip 4 to 6 ounces of water slowly over 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, using a smaller glass to pace yourself. It's not about drinking less. It's about drinking smarter. And for Linda, it was the first step to feeling like her morning routine was helping her, not hurting her. The second mistake Linda discovered hit even closer to home, using unfiltered tap water, something she'd been doing for years without realizing the risks. Linda always filled her glass straight from the tap, thinking it was fine. But after 60, your immune system isn't as strong, and contaminants in tap water, like lead, chlorine, or bacteria, can be harder for your body to handle, potentially causing stomach issues. kidney strain, or even long-term health problems. Linda learned about Tom, 69, from Ohio, who'd had his own wake-up call. Tom started feeling nauseous every morning after drinking tap water, and his doctor found that his tap water had high levels of chlorine, which was irritating his stomach and kidneys. Tom's doctor suggested using a water filter, like a pitcher with a carbon filter, to remove contaminants. Tom bought a $20 filter pitcher, started filling his glass from it, and even tested his tap water with a home kit to confirm it was safe. Within a week, the nausea was gone, his stomach felt better, and he felt more confident about his morning hydration. Linda thought, "I've never filtered my water. Could this be why I'm bloated?" So she tried it. She bought a filter pitcher, filled it up, and used it for her morning water. After a few days, the bloating eased. Her stomach felt calmer, and she felt safer knowing her water was clean. You can do it too. Use a water filter pitcher or a faucet filter to remove contaminants, and consider testing your tap water to be sure it's safe. It's not about being paranoid. It's about protecting your health. And for Linda, it was like taking a weight off her body, bringing her one step closer to feeling vibrant again. Linda was starting to feel a spark of hope. Sipping her water slowly and using filtered water had eased the bloating and discomfort that had plagued her mornings for weeks. She could feel her body settling, her energy lifting, and for the first time in a while, she wasn't dreading her morning routine. But as she reached for her glass one frosty morning, the icy chill of the water against her hand made her pause. She'd always loved her water straight from the fridge, thinking the cold jolt was a refreshing way to wake up. But that morning, as she took a big sip, a sharp pain shot through her stomach, and she felt a wave of nausea that made her sit down hard on her kitchen chair. Her mind raced back to a memory she hadn't thought of in years. A chilly morning 20 years ago, when she'd chugged ice-cold water before a hike, only to double over with cramps that ruined her day. That's when the third dangerous mistake hit her like a forgotten warning. Drinking ice-cold water, first thing in the morning, a habit that was shocking her system more than she realized. After 60, your digestion becomes more sensitive, and ice-cold water can constrict blood vessels in your stomach, slowing digestion and causing cramps, nausea, or even stressing your heart as your body works to warm the water to body temperature. Linda remembered a conversation she'd overheard at her yoga class. A retired nurse had warned the group about cold water in the morning, saying, "Your stomach's like a garden in the morning. It needs a gentle start, not a frost." The nurse had suggested drinking room temperature water instead, explaining that it's easier on your digestion and helps your body absorb it better. Linda decided to test it. She let her water sit out for 20 minutes to reach room temperature, then sipped it slowly, imagining her stomach as that garden, soaking in the gentle warmth. That morning, the nausea didn't come. Her stomach felt calm, and she felt a steady energy that carried her through her day. You can do this too. Let your water sit out to reach room temperature, or add a splash of warm water to take the chill off, and sip it gently to start your day. It's not about giving up what you love. It's about giving your body a kinder wake-up. And for Linda, it was like turning a harsh winter into a soft spring morning, one that let her bloom again. I'd love to hear which of these tips you're trying first. Drop a comment below and let me know what's sparking your curiosity. With her water now at a soothing temperature, Linda thought she was finally getting the hang of her morning routine. But a new challenge crept up one morning as she sat down with her glass, her pill organizer on the table beside her. She'd always taken her blood pressure medication right after her water, a habit she'd never questioned. But that morning, she felt a strange dizziness that made her head spin, her heart racing in a way that scared her. It was as if her body was trying to tell her something, but she couldn't quite hear it. until she pictured herself as a sailor on a ship, her morning water and pills like a storm she hadn't navigated properly. That's when she realized the fourth dangerous mistake: drinking water at the wrong time with her medications, a timing error that was throwing her body off balance. After 60, your body processes medications differently, and drinking a large amount of water right before or after certain pills, like blood pressure meds, can dilute your stomach acid, affecting absorption and causing side effects like dizziness or even blood pressure spikes. Linda thought of her friend Sarah, 71, from her book club, who'd once shared a funny story about a mix-up. She'd taken her meds with a huge glass of water, only to feel faint at the grocery store later, her doctor later explaining that she should wait 30 minutes after her meds before drinking more than a small sip. Sarah's doctor had advised taking meds with just a small sip of water, about 2 ounces, then waiting 30 minutes before drinking a full glass to let the medication absorb properly. Linda decided to chart her own course. She took her blood pressure pill with a small sip, set a timer for 30 minutes, and only then sipped her full glass of room temperature water, imagining herself steering her ship through calmer waters. That morning, the dizziness didn't return. Her head felt clear, and she felt a stability that made her morning routine feel safe again. You can do it too. Take your morning meds with just a small sip of water, then wait 30 minutes before drinking a full glass, checking with your doctor. If you're unsure about your specific meds, it's not about overcomplicating your routine, it's about timing it right. And for Linda, it was like finding the perfect wind to sail her ship, bringing her one step closer to a morning that truly nourished her. Linda was beginning to feel a quiet confidence in her morning routine. The gentle sips of room temperature water and the careful timing with her medications had brought a sense of balance she hadn't known in years. She could feel her body responding with gratitude, her energy steady, her stomach calm, and for the first time in a long while, she wasn't starting her day with discomfort. But one morning, as she stood by her kitchen window, watching the sunrise paint the sky in shades of gold, she took a sip of her water and felt nothing. No thirst, no need, just a habit she'd been following because she thought she should. She'd always believed that drinking water first thing was a must, no matter how her body felt. But that morning, a whisper of doubt crept in. What if she was forcing herself to drink when her body wasn't ready? That whisper turned into a vivid dream as she closed her eyes, imagining herself as a weary traveler in a desert, her canteen full, but her throat too parched to drink, her body begging her to wait for the right moment. That's when the fifth dangerous mistake revealed itself, ignoring her body's signals, drinking water out of habit rather than thirst, a mistake that was quietly throwing her system off balance. After 60, your body's thirst signals can weaken, but they're still there, and forcing water when you're not thirsty can lead to overhydration, diluting your electrolytes, causing swelling, or even straining your kidneys. In her dream, a wise old guide appeared, her voice soft as the wind, saying, "Listen to the desert of your body. It knows when the oasis is needed." The guide's words echoed a lesson Linda had once read in a health magazine. Pay attention to your thirst cues, like a dry mouth or a slight headache, and drink only when your body signals a need, aiming for small sips throughout the morning rather than a set amount all at once. Linda woke from her reverie with a new understanding. She set her glass down, waited until she felt a gentle dryness in her throat an hour later, and then took a few mindful sips, feeling her body accept the water like a parched plant soaking in rain. That morning, she felt lighter, her body in harmony, and she knew she'd found a rhythm that truly worked for her. Pay attention to your own signals. Watch for a dry mouth or a subtle thirst, and sip water only when your body asks for it, spreading your intake across the morning to keep your balance. Linda sat at her kitchen table that radiant Sunday morning, a steaming cup of herbal tea in her hands, the golden sunlight streaming through the window and casting a warm glow across the room. She felt a lightness in her body, a clarity in her mind, and a joy in her heart that she hadn't known in years. Just a few weeks ago, she'd stood in this same kitchen, doubled over with stomach cramps, her heart racing with fear that her morning water habit was harming her health. At 67, Linda had feared that her body was betraying her, that she'd never feel the energy to keep up with her grandkids or enjoy her days without discomfort. But that moment of pain had been the spark that changed everything, and as she sipped her tea, feeling the gentle rhythm of her morning routine, she knew she'd found a way to hydrate that truly nourished her. She pulled out a notebook, her pen gliding across the page as she wrote a letter to her younger self, the Linda of a few months ago, pouring out her heart about the journey she'd been on. "Dear Linda," she began, "you thought drinking water in the morning was simple, but you were making mistakes that hurt you more than you knew. I wish I could have told you sooner. Don't chug that big glass of water all at once. Your kidneys can't handle it after 60, and it left you bloated and uncomfortable. Instead, take small sips, 4 to 6 ounces, over 15 minutes, and let your body ease into the day. And that tap water you trusted? It wasn't as safe as you thought. Contaminants were irritating your stomach, so I started using a filter pitcher, and it made all the difference, calming my system and keeping me safe. Remember how you loved ice-cold water to wake you up? It was shocking your digestion, causing cramps and nausea, but switching to room temperature water felt like a warm embrace, soothing me from the inside out. And those meds you took right after your water? That timing threw your body off, making you dizzy, until I learned to take them with just a small sip and wait 30 minutes before drinking more, giving my system the balance it needed. Finally, I stopped forcing water when I wasn't thirsty. I learned to listen to my body's whispers, sipping only when I felt that gentle dryness, and it brought a harmony I'd never known. Linda paused, her eyes misty, as she finished her letter. "You're stronger now, Linda," she wrote, "and you've learned to hydrate in a way that lifts you up, not pulls you down. You can start your mornings with energy, with joy, and with the confidence that you're taking care of yourself." As she set her pen down, her grandson burst through the door, his laughter filling the room, and Linda stood to hug him, her body light, her heart full, knowing she could keep up with him now, her mornings a source of strength, not struggle. She'd transformed her routine, proving that even the smallest habits could make the biggest difference, even after 60. As Linda's letter shows, these 5 lessons are ones we can all learn from, because they're not just for her, they're for every senior who wants to start their day the right way. Her journey reminds us that we don't have to let old habits hold us back. We can hydrate safely, protect our health, and feel our best, no matter our age. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, you deserve mornings that energize you, that keep you strong, that let you live fully. If Linda's story has inspired you to rethink your morning water routine, I'd love for you to join me for more. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep thriving together, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's make every morning a step toward better health, because you deserve to feel vibrant at any age, and I'm here to help you every step of the way.